Okay, so very good afternoon and welcome. Welcome back for the discussion here. So I was talking to you about the different type of fronts, four types of fronts. I said whenever there is the convergence of two contrasting air masses, you have stationary front, you have warm front, cold front and the occluded front. Now we will look at, based on this different type of front as I just mentioned, we have the different phases of development of a temperate cyclone. So temperate cyclones are those cyclones which develops in between 30 to 60 degree latitudes. They are also called as extratropical cyclone. They are also called as the frontal cyclone because they develop due to the fronts only. There are different theories on this. One is polar front theory. Polar front theory. Polar front theory given by Bergeron, other known as Bergen theory or Bergen theory. Bergen theory. This particular theory, in fact, polar front theory propounded by William Jerkins and son Jacob Jerkins. V. Jerkins and another one is V. Jerkins and we have J. Jerkins. V. Jerkins and J. Jerkins, two person who Jacob Jerkins. These two scientists are climatologists who gave the polar front theory, also known as the Bergen theory, also it is called as. So you leave this, you remember polar front theory as given by Jerkins and Jerkins. Polar front theory given by Jerkins and Jerkins. It explains in detail about the evolution and stages of evolution of the temperate cyclone, how a temperate cyclone develops. It generally talked about the temperate cyclone, how a temperate cyclone develops gradually. Okay, temperate cyclone, how it develops. Okay, that's what I said. According to the polar front theory, Jerkins and Jerkins, their contribution is there. According to them, the temperate cyclone develop in a phased wise manner, in a sequential manner. Please note down here about this. According to the Jerkins and Jerkins polar front theory, the temperate cyclone develops due to the convergence of two contrasting air masses in a phase-wise manner or in a phase-wise sequential manner, in a phase-wise sequential manner. They develop in a phase-wise sequential manner. So what are these sequential manner? क्या क्या है देखते हैं. First, the first and the most important one is incipient stage. Incipient stage. Second is juvenile stage. Incipient stage, juvenile stage, early maturity stage, then you have also full maturity stage, and the fifth and most important old stage or occluded stage. Fifth one is old stage or occluded stage. Occlusion will be there, and dissipation stage. Sixth one is dissipation stage or end stage. end stage or dissipation stage. Dissipation stage, end stage or dissipation stage. So we have all these six stages. Juvenile, early maturity, full maturity, old stage, recluded stage, end stage or dissipation stage. These are the stages here. Okay. These are six different stages in the development of a temperate cyclone. It takes place in a phase-wise manner. I said this is in a phase-wise manner. They usually develop. So let us look at one by one, and what stage, what type of encounter between, or the interactions between two different air masses takes place, that we are going to discuss now. We will see these things, how the air masses, they generally interact, generally they converge and form this type of temperate disturbances. We will look at that. So first one, as you know, incipient stage. Incipient stage. In this particular stage, you know what happened? In the incipient stage, cold and warm air mass, they meets each other and there is formation of a front. Cold and warm air mass meets with each other. Here I will say, rather there is formation of a front. In this case, formation of a front takes place. Why? You know that temperate regions is associated with, this is what type of wind in this side? This side you have, which wind is there? Westerly wind. And this side you have, which wind is there? Polar easterly wind. You remember this. This is polar easterly wind. Polar easterlies, and this one here, it is the westerly wind. Do you remember this? I said 32, if it is 60 degree latitude, this is 90 degree latitude, this is here 30 degree latitude. You remember this? 30 degree to 60 degree, which wind blows here? Westerly wind. You remember that? And between polar will be here. So what happened here? Because of this, if here you have a warm air mass, this is a warm air mass, this air mass will travel in this direction. Yes, because of the westerly wind. And here is a cold air mass which is coming from this side, is cold air mass, let us say. This is cold air mass. This cold air mass will travel, it will travel in this direction because of that. While both of them they meets here, warm and cold air mass they meets, there will be formation of a front at this stage. You have formation of a front here. This is the front they develop. Because of the warm and cold air mass, there is front. Mostly it is stationary front. Generally the front will be stationary. हम ऊपर से देख रहे हैं, देखिए फ्लैट सरफेस में ऐसे आएगा. Yes or no? You got it what I am saying? In the initial stage, along the polar front, how they develop the temperate cyclone, that's what I am explaining. So diagram here showing incipient stage. So please note down here what happened. क्या होता है यहाँ पे? Cold polar air mass and warm tropical air mass meets at the subpolar zone, subpolar zone, okay, subpolar zone, developing a front, developing a front. Generally these are stationary front. Generally these are stationary front. ये जो front है ये stationary front ही होता है. Generally these are the stationary front. Cold polar air mass and the warm tropical air mass meets at the subpolar zone, developing a front known as a mostly stationary front. You got it? This is the first stage. Okay. So the incipient stage, there is like front development. So because of which there is possibility of even formation of few altostratus cloud and some light rainfall may there. Here there is possibility of some altostratus cloud. क्या है? Altostratus cloud and bit of rainfall or drizzling. Altostratus and drizzling. लाइट रेनफॉल. यहां पे क्या होगा? ऑल्टोस्ट्राटस, मैंने अगेन राइटिंग डाउन, ऑल्टोस्ट्राटस क्लाउड will develop at the front and light rainfall occurs. Altostratus cloud will develop at the front and light rainfall occurs here. Light rainfall होगा. Okay, you got it? This type of formation you will have. See, this may leads to subsequently. इसके बाद क्या होगा देखिए. What will happen? We can see here. देखिए यहाँ पे will have front development. Development of a front will be here. This type it will have. Cold air will dominate here and warm air will dominate this side. Due to which we have a warm front here and this side you have a cold front here. Cold front. So the second stage after incipient, juvenile stage this is. Second one is juvenile stage. Juvenile stage. What happened here in the juvenile stage? In this stage, warm and cold, two distinct front will develop. Okay, here beginning of the cyclonic circulation takes place here. I am saying beginning of the cyclonic circulation, beginning of the cyclonic circulation, उसका beginning होगा. Because of the front, you know, air masses based on the strength, you will have two distinct front. मैंने कहा distinct development of warm front and cold front. Distinct development of the warm front and the cold front. Warm and cold front, two different front, will have distinct development. Beginning of the cyclonic circulation, distinct development of warm and cold front. So here also development of a wedge or kink, development of a wedge or a kink like formation. Warm air, this is warm sector, this will be here warm sector, this is the cold air, cold sector. We will have a kink like formation here, this front, warm front and cold front, two things developed here, I said. Now rainfall will be there in both the cases. Rainfall takes place along the fronts, but very low intensity. The intensity of rainfall is very less. Low intensity rainfall you will have. Again I am saying low intensity rainfall takes place along the fronts. Both warm and cold front will have, but you remember if it is cold front जहाँ है warm air को ऊपर उठाएगा. I mean here the rainfall will be more. More rainfall will be in these regions. At the cold front you have more rainfall than the warm front. Warm front, whatever is there, you know, the warm air got lifted up. Warm air is, you know, dominant one. So in this case also there is, but both sides you have rainfall, but as compared to this, here you have more rainfall toward the cold front as compared to the warm front area. थोड़ा ज़्यादा बारिश होगा क्योंकि ये ऊपर उठा देगा, कोल्ड एयर जो है ना वार्म एयर को ऊपर उठा देगा. Because it will goes up, it will condense and form. Sometimes easily it will move upward, forming the cumulonimbus cloud even or nimbostratus cloud, giving more rainfall. Comparatively more rainfall this side. Okay. Now coming to the third stage. Third is early maturity stage. Early maturity stage. Early maturity stage. Early maturity stage. In this case, what happened? Nearly 36 to 60 hours after the first stage, it develops. After 36 to 72 hours, 36 to 72 hours after the first stage, after the development of first stage, after the development of first stage, after the development of first stage. Okay. So early maturity stage unit develops after 36 to 72 hours after the development of the first stage. Generally, you will have this. So what happened in this case? In the early maturity case, warm sector has become well defined between cold and warm front. Okay, the cold front moves faster than the warm front and begins to get smaller. First point I am saying, a distinct warm sector develops between the warm and cold front. Then another point is, the cold front travels faster than the warm front, and the warm sector became very small. Warm sector became very small. A distinct warm sector develops between the warm and cold front. The cold front travels faster than the warm front and the warm sector became very small. The warm sector became very small here. Squeeze हो जाएगा, warm sector squeeze हो जाएगा gradually. So in this case, in the third case, what is there? ये केस पे क्या होगा फिर? Early maturity stage में, in the early maturity stage or the third stage, this is like, so here the development of nimbostratus cloud, altostratus, cirrostratus and high clouds are there because of the lifting up of the air. So here nimbostratus, altostratus cloud develops. Gradually what happened? Lifting up of the air leads to cirrus and cirrostratus cloud. Lifting up of the warm air leads to the formation of cirrus, formation of high cloud करो, formation of high cloud, especially क्या है? cirrostratus cloud, formation of the high cloud, cirrostratus cloud. It leads to the formation of the cirrostratus cloud. Okay, which cloud? Cirrostratus cloud. It leads to the formation of the cirrostratus cloud. Very important about this is lot of cloud, the cloud you will have. Subsequently, the cold front push the warm air upward and gradually the air moved upward vertically forming cumulonimbus cloud, 50 to 80 kilometer velocity in which wind blows here. The cold front push the warm air and lift it upward, forming cold front push the warm air and lift it upward, forming cumulonimbus cloud. Cumulonimbus cloud, forming the cumulonimbus cloud. The cold front push the warm air and lift it upward, forming the cumulonimbus cloud. It forms the cumulonimbus cloud. Okay, इसको ऊपर उठा देगा, cumulonimbus cloud formation होंगे. And this particular part, here early maturity stage जो है बहुत important है. Early maturity stage क्या होता है देखिए आप यहाँ पे. What happened here? In this case, the earlier which you have done, like the cold front here, cold front became very squid here. It will be like this, and the warm front which is here will be like this. So this is here is, as you know, warm front, and here you have the cold front, and in between them you have warm sector. Warm sector will develop here. Warm sector will develop here. Cold front, warm sector. And in this case, you will have the cold air like this. This is cold air mass, and here this is warm air mass. This will, the cold front push the warm, lift the upward, forming cumulonimbus cloud, and here wind velocity increases to nearly, in this case, the wind velocity 50 to 80 kilometer per hour. 50 to 80 kilometer per hour. In winter particularly, forming a complete cyclone. Wind velocity increases, so it is a cyclone. It developed as a cyclone. Here. I hope it is clear up to this. Up to this it is clear for you people. देखो, this is the, you can see here, this is the cold air, this is the warm air. देखा आपने, cold and warm air. cyclonic flow will be there and it tries to lift off the warm air को lift कर रहा है, ऊपर जो है ना lift कर रहा है, ये ऊपर आएगा and it will be like this. Development will be different here. Development will be, is it clear to you? Okay, development. Prior to this, if I'll go for this, like if I'll see, okay, you can see this. Here I will show you one more, like the region where you have maximum time. You can see here, this is the region here, cold and warm air they meets. देखो यहाँ पे ये सब region है जहाँ पे cold और warm air both mix होते हैं, and you see that this is the regions where you have cyclone, mostly temperate cyclones are developing. So temperate cyclones are developing in these regions only. See here, these are the region here you have mostly development of the temperate cyclones. You can see this. Temperate cyclones are found in, देखो यहाँ साइबेरियन रीजन देख रहे हैं आप, चाइना के नॉर्दर्न चाइना रीजन्स एंड ऑल, दिस एरिया हियर. Temperate cyclones also you will find here in Europe, this part of Europe also. Western Europe you have. North America you see here. North America toward the Labrador coast, this is here is in Canada, USA, this California region, these regions you have. All the temperate area you have. Here in South America, southern part, also over the ocean here and the South Indian Ocean here, these regions, and New Zealand regions, South Asia and New Zealand you see, all these regions you have development of temperate cyclone. ये region में ये generally ये cyclone मिलते हैं. All these cyclones you will find out in these regions only. Mostly you will find in these regions. Temperate cyclones you will find in these regions only. Okay, temperate cyclones you will find in these regions only, right? Now, why you will find in these regions? Because of convergence of warm and cold air masses, and in the stage wise manner which you will find. You will find it in a stage wise manner, I said, one by one. Okay. If this is the third stage, then you will have, like, you know, the development of, next one is full development of this. So fourth stage is full maturity stage. Fourth stage is full maturity stage. Full maturity stage. Here fullest development of, full development of the temperate cyclones. Temperate cyclone developed at its fullest. Please note down here. In this stage, cold front overtake the warm front, and the cold front has shortened the warm front by moving faster than the warm front. So in this stage, what at cold front is overtaking the warm front. कोल्ड फ्रंट वार्म फ्रंट को ओवरटेक कर जाएगा by moving faster than the warm air mass. और वार्म एयर मास, वार्म फ्रंट करो, वार्म फ्रंट, cold front is overtaking the warm front by moving faster than the warm front. The warm sector is now squeezed and much smaller. The warm sector is now squeezed and became very small. It became very small. बहुत ही छोटा बन जाएगा. Warm sector became very small here. Very small. And highly intensified cyclone developed here. A full grown cyclone develops here. A full grown cyclone develops here with this. Warm sector became very small and the very full grown cyclone developed here. Full grown cyclone. In the last case it was like this. Now this will again further squeezed. This will again further squeezed. It will again further squeezed, as I said. This will again further squeezed and it will form what? देखो आप, what will happen here? In this case, you can see here the warm sector is now very, this is the warm sector. Warm sector is now like this. And there is a complete, in this case if you will see, air is like this. Complete movement of the air in this way. This is the cold front here. This side you have the warm front. And here you have the warm air. Warm sector. Warm sector is now very small. Okay. This type they develop here, full development, cyclogenesis at its fullest stage. Cyclone development is at its fullest state, full development of cyclone. Full development of the cyclone you have here. पूरे देखो साइक्लोन कैसे डेवलप कर रहा है यहाँ पे, एंड वेरी इंटरेस्टिंगली द एरिया बिकम वेरी स्मॉल. Okay, now I got a question from here. Let me explain it to you first. Sorry, I haven't seen your text earlier. If inertia is more, then speed will decrease. No. Then why sir said the cold front will faster even if it has more inertia? My friend, you see here, the movement we are talking about here, आप इसका जो इम्पैक्ट है, आप ग्राउंड से आप वर्टिकली सोचिए रहिए, यू थिंक अबाउट द वर्टिकल थिंग्स, फ्रॉम बिलो इट इज लिफ्टिंग अप एंड द एयर इज बीइंग मूव्ड अप. If you look at this, friction is there, no doubt, frictional drag will be there, but still as compared to the warm air mass, the impact of cold air mass will be much more, cold front will be much more. Wedge and kink जो है ना एक ही है, because while they forms, you know, this same one, the one same what you call front got now divided into two types, two parts now. Okay, why occluded front is formed downward and not upward? Because first in the lower part will have. ये picture हम explain करेंगे, just wait please. I'll explain this picture, just wait please. I'll explain all these things. You need to just wait here, because I just need to explain it to you first. आप देखो यहाँ पे, can you please just have a glance over this? आप यहाँ पे देखिए, is it clear to you? Those who have asked me, please look at here carefully. You see here, this is the first front develops here. This is the first stage which I said. ये है, दो जा रहे हैं. Here it is starting of what you call warm air mass is going intruding. A cold air mass is coming from this side and lifting up. ये जो डबल दिया है ना, vertical height दिखा है यहाँ पे, देखो ठीक से. And is lifting up of this. देखो आप यहाँ पे is coming and this is lifting up of this warm air like this. Now gradually how they develop, you see here, one by one, one by one, one by one. How it develop, it is given. How it develop, it is given. Okay. In this case, as I have just mentioned about this, in this case, we can see first day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, day 5, day 3, like, you know, like it has given here how it developed gradually one by one. Take a clip of this and you can have some idea about this one, like how the cyclones develops here. We can development of wave, how it developed, we can see this. Gradually, step by step, anyway, how it developed, it is given. Like warm and cold air mass, they are meeting. Finally, देखो यहाँ पे देखो, पहले ये कैसे front बन रहा है, then कैसे बन रहा है, then how it is, then it is how it is. Like, you know, gradually it is forming in this way, step by step, step by step. Formation of the cyclone is in a very step-wise manner. हम आपको this I have explained to you, this I have explained, this I have explained, and here we are here. ये here occlusion begins also. Occlusion start हो जाएगा यहाँ पे. कहाँ start हो रहा है देखो आप. You have asked me one question. Occlusions from below. आप देखो from where, picture how you have seen the picture based on that. Occlusion started here. Can you see this? Occlusion is starting here. L जो लिखा है यहाँ पे देखो. Here it is starting. Then gradually देखो ये है occluded front. This is occluded front. Are you seeing this? This is occluded one. पूरी तरह से occlusion खत्म हो रहा है, occlusion हो रहा है. यहाँ पे occlusion start हो रहा है. यहाँ पे occlusion fully हुआ है और बाद में occluded होकर खत्म हो जाएंगे. See here. तो cyclone develops here in this particular phase. ये दो है. Here cyclone starts. ये साइक्लोन स्टार्ट, यहाँ पे साइक्लोन फुल डेवलपमेंट हुआ, देन ऑक्लूजन की तरफ जा रहा है. आई मीन सेकेंड डे टू थर्ड डे इन बिटवीन साइक्लोन्स फुल्ली डेवलप्ड हियर, है ना. So this is here is the case of what you call full maturity. Then you have occluded state पे आते हैं. Then let us come to the occluded state. I hope you got it step by step how it is developed. Okay, step by step how it is developed. I hope you got this. How step by step it is developed. In USA, generally cloud front how they develop, it is given in USA, North America, how it is developed. This is cold front, this is warm front. Cold front, how it developed, cold front and warm front, and how the air from here it will got, it moved upward, here it is moving upward. ये जब ऊपर जाएगा तो क्या होगा? If it will go up, then there is formation of cloud here. That is what I said. Now finally we will go for the occluded front. Now occlusion, what happened in the occlusion we will see now, what happened in the occlusion part. And if you remember, I have just given this one which I was talking about, the diagram which you are talking about. देखो आप, ये इसको छोड़िए, high, this you don't have to go for. You talked about this one, ये, this one, okay. Here, this one you see, here cold air, same thing, warm front is there, cold front is there. So there is whirling of the air, you see, and it is, are you getting the things? How it is whirling of the air and it is moving in this way. ये वाला आप देखो, here, don't think about that anticyclone, that is a different one. ये high pressure cell, यहाँ पे क्या होता है आपको बता दूं, because you might have some doubt here, like ऐसे होता है ना, wave like. ये polar area है, from polar area this side cold wave is coming more, here it is warm air is going in this way. Which one? Warm air is going in this way. Here is cold air is coming and it is forming like this. So anticyclone cold core होगा तो anticyclone हो जाएगा, that is a different to the cyclone, that is a different one. तो आप इसको अभी मत देखो, don't look at this, you see that one only. अभी फिलहाल आप इसको मत देखिए, you see about this one only. जेट स्ट्रीम के साथ रिलेट किया हुआ है, that we have to take some time on that. Look at here, ground surface में देखिए आप, occlusion is here, ground surface, here it is occlusion is there, ground surface में, ground में ही तो होगा, then it lift करेगा उसको, from ground it will lifted up and there is gradual cyclonic development. So step by step if you will see, as you are requesting me like to explain the things here, cold core, मैंने आपको जो डायग्राम में दिखाया था वही है, cold core, cold air is coming in this way, cold front is there, it is pushing this warm air upward, so ये warm front हो गया, and between them there is cyclonic disturbances and they have cyclone is developing here, and subsequently what happened here, finally subsequently you have development of the cyclones. ये fully develop हो गया cyclone and ये occlusion यहाँ पे start हो जाएगा, here the occlusion will start at this particular place. The occlusion will start at ये जगह पे occlusion will start. Here is occlusion will start at the meeting place of warm and cold front. Warm and cold front, where warm and cold front both are meeting, occlusion will start there. Okay, let us see now again how all these things has happened. We'll see. Next is we have the old stage or occluded stage. Old stage or occluded stage. It is fifth stage. Fifth stage is old or occluded stage. Old stage or occluded stage, old stage or occluded stage. What is there in this particular stage here? Let us see. In this stage, the cold front has caught up with the warm front. The cold front overpowered the warm front. And cold air completely replaced the ground surface, lifting up of the entire warm air. First it says cold front overpowered the warm front. Okay. Cold air lifted up all the available warm air mass and it dissociate the warm air from the ground contact, from the ground. ग्राउंड से पूरा ऊपर उठा देगा ये. It lifted up everything up, even the ground surface from which lifted up. It lifted up everything. I said from the ground surface is lifted up all. Okay. From the ground itself it lifted up all. ग्राउंड से ही ऊपर उठा देगा ये, तो क्या होगा फिर? There will be no ground contact. The warm air will not have ground contact. Everything is lifted up. Now at the base you have only cold air. नीचे क्या होगा? केवल cold air है. All warm air are lifted up now. There is no warm air in the lower part, near the surface. Everything is lifted up. Now, what happened here again? Merging of the warm and cold front leads to occlusion and occluded front develops. Occluded front develops. While both of them they meet, it form the occluded front. Occluded front जब बन जाएगा, the strength of the cyclone gradually decreases. Optimum point पे जाके then gradually it will decrease. The strength of the cyclone gradually decreases here. Okay. The cold air from the west has moved faster, and one of the cold air from the east surface of the earth also. ये पूरे घूम जाएंगे. ये देखो, cold air coming from the, this is east here, replacing, ये east से घूम के आ गया. वार्म एयर इज बीइंग, ये पूरे कवर कर दिया, नीचे भी चला जाएगा तो क्या पूरा लिफ्टेड हो गया. एंड व्हाट हैपन हियर, meeting of warm and cold front from occluded front. So what happened here? In this case, merging up of the warm and cold front leads to the occlusion and occluded front develops. It gradually weaken the strength of the temperate cyclone. It gradually weaken the strength of the temperate cyclone. Okay. Then finally end stage. So ये इसका एक diagram बना लेते हैं. Let us see. Let us do a diagram here on this also. This is the occluded front area. This is the occluded front region. So this is here is gradually it will dies out because of this. A cold front, warm front. This is here is occluded front. This one is occluded front. Complete occlusion is there. Occluded front. Gradually dissipating. The occluded front is also gradually dissipating. What will happen subsequently? You see. आफ्टर दिस इसके बाद क्या होगा देखते हैं. ऑक्लूडेड फ्रंट के बाद देखो यहाँ पे व्हाट विल हैपन टू दिस रीजन नाउ. फाइनली लास्ट स्टेज इज यू हैव योर एंड स्टेज और डिसिपिएशन स्टेज. डिसिपिएशन स्टेज और end stage. Dissipation stage or end stage. Dissipation stage or end stage. Cyclone circulation was there, but now everything is dissipated. So no such any air here. This is like warm air will flow in this way. Warm air will flow in this way now. Warm air. This side you have the warm air. So it will be there. Because of the presence of this warm air will be there. Cold air you have cold air here. Here you have the cold air, no? Cold air. So you have dissipation stage, in which stage of death of the cyclone it is, has become, cyclone become end, and here stability takes place. So in the dissipation stage, what happened? The temperate cyclone dissipation stage, fifth or sixth stage it is. What happened? The temperate cyclone finally dies out. Okay, finally it will dies out. So in this way, there is sequential formation of the temperate cyclone from one by one in a stepwise manner. They develop. That is what I can say. One by one, step by it is developed. A temperate cyclone develop in a stepwise manner. Okay. I hope it is clear. Can you please draw this finally? And it brings stability finally. इसके बाद क्या होगा? Stable होगा, पूरा खत्म हो जाएंगे ये. It will have bring stability. ये जो येलो कलर लाइन यहाँ पे मैंने दिखाया, this is like here it is there. Warm air will be there in finally. There is no such anything, completely uprooted हो जाएगी. Is it done? I hope you got it. If I'll take a vertical cross section of the full development of a cyclone, we'll find a different interesting thing here. Cold front, warm front. Warm front will be gradual. Cold front will be bit steeper. Cold front, this is warm front. मैं आपको ये जो है ना, this is I am doing as a vertical section through the warm sector of temperate cyclone. Vertical section through the warm sector of temperate cyclone. Warm sector of the temperate cyclone. Warm air. Cold air. Cold air. this is like this. So you have nimbostratus here. क्या क्या होगा यहाँ पे? यहाँ पे क्या होगा? Nimbostratus. You remember this? NBST. Altostratus. Here you have altostratus. Here you have cirrostratus. क्यों होगा ऐसा? Why nimbostratus, altostratus, cirrostratus? Nimbostratus below, आपको पता होगा, याद है ना आपको? Altostratus, alto all are middle height, cirro all are in high, ये बहुत ऊंचा तक जाएगा. So if I'll go for 3000, 6000 and 9000 meter, here it is 3000 meter, 6000 meter and here it is 9000 meter or more height if I'll go for. Okay, so you will have like this type of cross section. In case of this, here you have cold front जब आएगा तो यहाँ पे क्या हो गया? Cumulonimbus cloud. यहाँ पे क्या आ जाएंगे? Cumulonimbus cloud. What is that? क्या है ये? Cumulonimbus. Cumulonimbus cloud. Cumulonimbus cloud you have. Here you have altocumulus cloud. Then you have altostratus cloud. Altocumulus and altostratus. Cumulus and altostratus. In the lower part itself it will be, not in this height. Altocumulus and altostratus. So middle and high vertically developed cloud and middle cloud you will have here. In case of cold air, while they lifted up this, you will have like this. यहाँ पे बहुत ही ज्यादा ही कुछ बारिश देगा ये. यहाँ पे only drizzling may be there, but more rainfall in this side. I told you earlier also. You have like weather associated. If you look at this is here. This type of cloud formation and there is like rainfall will be like this. Cloud will give this type of rainfall. So weather associated, if you look at what type of weather you will have, and cloud I have just given nimbostratus, altostratus, cirrostratus. Nimbostratus आपको याद ना, निम्बो पानी बोला था ना, nimbus high, ये rainfall होगा यहाँ पे. Here it will have rainfall. Warm air mass जब चला जाएगा nimbostratus होगा. Remember the rainfall will be there but not very heavy, moderate to low rainfall but for long time. Nimbostratus. Altostratus होंगे, cirrostratus. Cirrostratus में कहा था आपको सबसे ऊंचा में रहता है. Altostratus middle में रहेगा. So this type of things will be there. And in this case you have gradually you see that cyclone, while the cyclone develops here they have this type of formation. Can you just take a snap on एक आपने तो ले जाओ, ये फोटो ले जाओ और इसको याद रखो. If you are not getting anything, let me know. If you want any question, please go ahead. Question कुछ है तो बताओ. Sir, in cyclone eye, there is hot air or cold air. My friends, यहाँ पे कोई eye of the cyclone नहीं है. There is no eye in the temperate cyclone. In case of tropical cyclone, eye is there, and in case of a tropical cyclone, hot air है वो, eye of the cyclone. Okay, is it clear to you? देखिए आपको intensively I tried to give you the things, like I hope you must got the things. Temperate cyclone का अभी characteristics पे चलेंगे. हो गया क्या? Done? क्या मैं समझूं कि आपको समझ में आया? Yes or no? कुछ समझ में आया? Friends, if you have studied or if you know certain things, कुछ अगर cloud पढ़ा है ना तो ये समझ में आ जाएगा. Nimbostratus क्यों होगा? अरे ये तो warm air is there with that moisture is actually lifted up, so nimbostratus will give rainfall, moderate to low intensity. But ये cumulonimbus क्यों होगा? Vertically the warm air is being lifted off suddenly, so vertical development of cloud. So this is what is the cumulonimbus cloud you have. Okay. ये इधर पे ऊपर से चला गया है वार्म एयर, तो सीरोस्ट्रेटस क्लाउड, जितना जो ऊपर जाएगा उतना, यहाँ पे बहुत ऊपर पे क्लाउड नहीं होंगे, यहाँ पे जो होगा ना क्यूमुलोनिम्बस क्लाउड बहुत ऊपर तक होगा। बीच में ऑल्टोक्यूमुलस ऑल्टोस्ट्राटस में भी अप टू मीडियल लेवल, तो 6 किलोमीटर तक यहाँ पे क्लाउड होंगे। 9 किलोमीटर जो होगा तो क्यूमुलोनिम्बस क्लाउड ही है यहाँ, बिकॉज द कोल्ड एयर lifted up the warm air completely here. So these are the cases here, like this you will have. Try to find out the logic behind this, why it happens and how it happens. We will get it. You said it is clear, I understand. Okay, thank you very much. आपको समझ में आया तो एटलीस्ट हमारा एफर्ट्स तो कुछ तो काम में आया। But you know that you should teach your friend. That should be, you should have the ability to teach your friend. आप अपना दोस्तों को बता पाएंगे ये, और बता रहा हूँ, if you want to develop this skill, you know, try teach your friend. उनको समझ, ये देखो यार टॉपिक लेके आपको जो समझ में आई पढ़ाओ उनको. You will gain confidence, and if any doubt is there, you can clarify it from us. Fine, let us now move on to characteristics of this cyclone. ये तो हो गया डेवलपमेंट में. What are the characteristics of this cyclone? Characteristics. My friends, you remember temperate cyclones are generally associated. It covers very large area, very large area. Its life period is comparatively longer than the tropical cyclone. It covers large area and it gives moderate to low intensity rainfall for a long period of time. ये थोड़ा सा ज्यादा टाइम तक ये बारिश देता है. It is always found in the temperate region. Here another one, isobar are elliptical in shape. All the isobar here are elliptical in shape because they develop due to the convergence of two contrasting air masses. क्योंकि ये contrasting air masses की जो है ना, they develop due to contrasting air masses. While two contrasting air masses meets, that happen here. Okay, so it is like this. Isobar, elliptical in shape. It is moderate to less destructive than the tropical cyclone. Tropical cyclone से moderate to less destructive है. Moderate to less destructive than the tropical cyclone. Okay. What else? It is energized by, it gets energy from the thermal contrast between the cold and warm air masses. Cold and warm air masses. It gets energy from the thermal contrast between the cold and warm air masses. दो cold और warm air masses का जो thermal contrast है उसके ऊपर ये depend करता है. It depends on thermal contrast between the cold and warm air masses, इससे एनर्जी मिलता है. Okay, and what else? It is convectional, it is advectional. Advectional in origin. You remember advection? Advection in horizontal movement or transfer of the heat energy. Convection में क्या है? Vertical rise and transfer of heat energy. Advection is horizontal transfer or exchange of heat energy. That is what you know. So these are the things here associated with these characteristics. The diazote they develop and very frequently develop in the winter. In winter because thermal contrast more है, so winter में very fully developed. It travels general path generally travels from west to east due to the impact of the westerly wind. Due to the impact of the westerly wind. Okay, because of the impact of the westerly wind there. Okay, ninth point. Temperate cyclone are intensified by the jet stream upper air jet stream, okay, and index cycle. इंडेक्स साइकिल में जो वेवी नेचर है ना, ये पोल के पास देखो आप यहाँ पे हियर इन ए वेवी नेचर, पोल के पास इधर एक ठंडी हवा आ रही है, वार्म एयर इज कमिंग, बट दिस portion is not uniform. So somewhere the cold air intruded over the warm sector, somewhere warm air intruded the cold sector. So wavy band होगा यहाँ पे, wavy band. And in this you have jet stream also blows in very high velocity jet stream in a wavy band. इसको बोलते हैं index cycle. इसे wavy band में होगा index cycle. Okay, because earth is round also and it is cannot come. There are a lot of factors. ये wavy band में ये जाता है jet stream in a wavy band. तो ये भी एक बहुत बड़ा फैक्टर है in the upper air which also trigger the factors of development of temperate cyclone. So these are the things you know, and I request you all, GS के लिए आपका more than sufficient है, जितना point बोला more than sufficient for you in GS. And my friends in the optional even you will get benefit out of this, जितना बताया मैंने आपको काफी है ये. There is no naming of the cyclone or anything here. Now let us move on to tropical versus temperate cyclone. Let us differentiate between these two. What is the difference between tropical cyclone and temperate cyclone? We will see now what is the difference between tropical and the temperate cyclone. चलिए देखते हैं अभी. We will differentiate between tropical cyclone and the temperate cyclone, how they are different and why they are different. Tropical cyclone versus the temperate cyclone. Tropical versus temperate cyclone. First point is location. मैं एक पॉइंट देता हूं, आप देखिए एंड प्लीज नोट डाउन ऑन दिस. क्वेश्चन आएंगे, कंपेयर एंड कंट्रास्ट द ट्रॉपिकल एंड द टेम्परेट साइक्लोन. Question can be asked. So let us see now what is tropical, temperate cyclone, how they are different. Yeah. Okay, I got this. Somebody is asking me what is this first 3 point. Let me explain. Please repeat the last slide. Okay. Yeah. Please show the previous slide. मतलब this one with the first 3 point. With the first 3 point. Okay, let us see. Let me repeat it. First point is it covers very large area. Okay, please look at it. Covers very large area, more than 1200 square kilometer area you will get. Its life period is comparatively longer than the tropical cyclone. It for weeks together. Tropical cyclone is for 3 to 4 days. Yeah, weeks together. Temperature. It gives moderate to low intensity rainfall for a long period of time. Rainfall will be hardly, in this case, थोड़ा थोड़ा बारिश होगा, मगर कंटिन्यूटी में बारिश होगा कुछ दिनों के लिए. It is not like abruptly very heavy rainfall and it will leave it. Okay, this is here. Fourth point is isobar are elliptical in shape. मतलब isobar जो होता है ना, मैंने आपको याद होगा ये एक चीज बताया था, ये होता है आइसोबार जो होता है, ये सब ऐसे इलिप्टिकल होंगे क्योंकि दो एयर मास मिलेंगे ना, ऐसे होगा आइसोबार सब इलिप्टिकल. आइसोबार अगर देखेंगे ना, ये अगर मिलीबार में देखेंगे, लोएस्ट प्रेशर हियर, लेट अस से इट इज 700 मिलीबार, 750 मिलीबार और 720 मिलीबार, 740 मिलीबार हो गया. तो ऐसे आपको जो इलिप्टिकल वे में होगा. ट्रॉपिकल साइक्लोन पूरा सर्कुलर होता है, इलिप्टिकल ऐसे एलंगेटेड होंगे क्योंकि दो एयर मास मिलते हैं. मॉडरेट टू लेस डिस्ट्रक्टिव देन द ट्रॉपिकल साइक्लोन. ट्रॉपिकल साइक्लोन से कंपैरेटिवली कम डिस्ट्रक्टिव है बिकॉज विंड वेलोसिटी इज लेस. अनदर पॉइंट, इट गेट्स एनर्जी फ्रॉम द थर्मल कंट्रास्ट बिटवीन द कोल्ड एंड द वार्म एयर मास. थर्मल कंट्रास्ट बिटवीन वार्म एंड द कोल्ड एयर मास, दोनों में कितना कंट्रास्ट है उसके ऊपर डिपेंड करेगा. ओके, आई होप इट इज क्लियर. नाउ सेवेंथ पॉइंट, इट इज एडवेक्शनल इन ओरिजिन. एडवेक्शनल मीन बिकॉज द एयर मास का मूवमेंट है ना, इधर लेटरली ऊपर नहीं जा रहा है, साइड से ऐसे एयर मास, पोलर रीजन से ए आ रहा है इधर, सो हॉरिजॉन्टल मूवमेंट है एयर मास की, सो इट इज एडवेक्शनल इन ओरिजिन, कन्वेक्शनल नहीं है. जनरली ट्रैवल्स फ्रॉम वेस्ट टू ईस्ट ड्यू टू द इम्पैक्ट ऑफ द वेस्टर्लीज विंड. वेस्टर्लीज विंड के साथ साथ ये दिखाया था ना मैं, जनरली वेस्टर्लीज है ना, 30 to 60 डिग्री में क्या है, वेस्टर्लीज विंड है, दैट्स व्हाई इट मूव फ्रॉम वेस्ट टू ईस्ट. और ट्रॉपिकल साइक्लोन क्या था, ईस्ट टू वेस्ट, बिकॉज इट इज इन द ईस्टर्ली बेल्ट. नाइन्थ पॉइंट इज टेम्परेट साइक्लोन्स आर इंटेंसिफाइड. दे गॉट इंटेंसिफाइड बाय द जेट स्ट्रीम एंड इंडेक्स साइकिल. ये थोड़ा समझ में नहीं आया होगा. जेट स्ट्रीम एंड इंडेक्स साइकिल कैसे है बताते हैं, रुको देखो. यू सी हियर, इफ यू हैव प्रॉब्लम सी दिस. दिस इज पोलर एरिया. ये रीजन्स पे क्या होता है, यू हैव लाइक द पाथ ऑफ द जेट स्ट्रीम इज लाइक दिस. मैंने आपको जेट स्ट्रीम अभी तक नहीं बताया है. दिस इज द पाथ ऑफ जेट स्ट्रीम. हियर द जेट स्ट्रीम they usually move okay in the path. So यहां पे क्या होता है, the jet stream are coming, a cold air is coming in this way and this side you have warm air is intruding here. Yes or no? ये warm air जा रहा है. So क्या होगा, ये warm air जा रहा है और ये cold air आ रहे हैं. Pockets में sometimes cold air, their meeting place will have like ये cyclone हो रहे हैं. No doubt here there is cyclone. Cyclones will develop in this region. In this region cyclone will develop. In this region cyclone will develop. But subsequent stage में, if here is a low pressure cell and here you have a high pressure cell, ये इधर से टूट के आ गया हाई प्रेशर का है. कोल्ड एयर मीन हाई प्रेशर. यहां पे अगर ये लो प्रेशर सेल जैसा चला गया एंड इधर एक आ गया हाई प्रेशर सेल जैसे, अगर ऐसे होता है तो हाई प्रेशर इज ऑलवेज शोज ए एंटी साइक्लोन, लो प्रेशर विल बी ए साइक्लोन. ये तो हो गया टेम्परेट साइक्लोन डेवलपमेंट में सहायक होगा. ये जो बन गया, इट विल डेवलप द टेम्परेट साइक्लोन द सेम वे इट इज देयर. ओके, ये पूरे लो प्रेशर ऑलवेज इन दैट केस जो भी जाएगा वार्म एयर जा रहा है टेम्परेट साइक्लोन. और इधर पे जो आ गया ये एंटी साइक्लोन हो जाएगा बिकॉज इट इज हाई प्रेशर सेल ऑपोजिट टू द साइक्लोन, एंटी साइक्लोन। मैंने आपको जो ये दिखाया था, इफ यू रिमेंबर दिस पर्टिकुलर वन व्हिच यू आर टॉकिंग अबाउट एंड व्हिच यू सेड दैट वी वांट, ये जो है देखो एक साइक्लोन है तो इसके पास एंटी साइक्लोन दिखा है ना, ये व्हाई दिस एंटी साइक्लोन वाज शोन, बिकॉज ये जो है ना हाई प्रेशर सेल इट केम आउट फ्रॉम दैट रीजन टू दिस साइड, ये आ गया है। दिस इज द हाई प्रेशर सेल, दिस इज लो प्रेशर सेल, यू सी हियर नाउ दिस वन, ये हाई प्रेशर है, यहाँ पे साइक्लोन है, ये हो गया आपका एंटी साइक्लोन, हियर एंटी साइक्लोन इज देयर, ये साइक्लोन रीजन है, ये एंटी साइक्लोन है, ये साइक्लोनिक रीजन है, होगा ना एंटी साइक्लोन साइक्लोन एंटी साइक्लोन, वही तो दिखाया गया है आपका जो हियर आई हैव शोन यू द सेम थिंग आई हैव शोन यू इन दिस पर्टिकुलर हियर इन दिस डायग्राम आई हैव शोन यू दिस वन, ये हाई प्रेशर है, ये लो प्रेशर, इधर एक हाई प्रेशर होगा फिर लो प्रेशर, मीन मतलब लो प्रेशर इट इज बिकॉज अब देखो फ्रंटल कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स, ये भी फ्रंटल होगा, ये हाई प्रेशर से ये जो है ना इधर पे आ गया है, हाई द कोल्ड वेव इज कमिंग। नाउ द थिंग इज हियर जेट स्ट्रीम का देखो यहाँ पे जेट स्ट्रीम ऊपर दिया है, हियर इट इज लाइक अप डाउन ये जेट स्ट्रीम गया है, दिस जेट स्ट्रीम ऑल्सो इज अपर एयर सर्कुलेशन, टुमारो आई विल डिस्कस अबाउट जेट स्ट्रीम। जेट स्ट्रीम जो है अपर एयर सर्कुलेशन है, इट ट्रिगर द इफेक्ट ऑफ दिस साइक्लोन फॉर्मेशन, it trigger the effect of or the trigger the process of cyclonic formation, it trigger how, देखिए आप ये ऊपर जो एयर जा रहा है ना ये जेट स्ट्रीम का पाथ है, they trigger this process of this movement of this pressure belt, बहुत सारे चीजें इससे इंटर रिलेटेड है, अभी इतना याद रख लीजिए, this much only please remember that the temperate cyclones are intensified by the jet stream and index cycle। मैं जेट स्ट्रीम पढ़ाऊंगा, लिंक एक बार फिर दूंगा, ठीक है। Tomorrow we'll have the jet stream discussion. Tomorrow we'll have the naming of the cyclone also. कल ट्रॉपिकल साइक्लोन का नेम कल बताऊंगा, फिर कुछ नया डेवलपमेंट आई वुड लाइक टू डिस्कस विथ यू एंड लेट अस लुक एट ट्रॉपिकल वाटर सिस्टम। इज इट क्लियर टू यू नाउ? अभी तो फिलहाल ओके, विल गो फॉर नाउ द टेम्परेट वर्सेस ट्रॉपिकल साइक्लोन, अगेन डिस्कशन चलते हैं टेम्परेट वर्सेस ट्रॉपिकल साइक्लोन। फर्स्ट इज लोकेशन, एज यू नो लोकेशन में पहला पॉइंट है ट्रॉपिकल साइक्लोन 5 डिग्री टू 30 डिग्री लैटिट्यूड इन द ट्रॉपिकल रीजन, हियर इट इज 30 टू 60 डिग्री लैटिट्यूड। सीजन कौन सा सीजन में होता है? ऑटम सीजन, late summer and autumn season is most favorable, more late summer early autumn, okay, season. But here what happened here? Here winter season is most favorable, winter season is most favorable। These 9 points are associated with which winds characteristics? These 9 points are associated with what? अरे यार रामायण खत्म हो गया, बोलता है कि ये सीता कौन है? क्यों भाई ऐसे क्या हो गया? What happened to you? These 9 points are the characteristics of temperate cyclone. Okay? टेम्परेट साइक्लोन की कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स है, क्या समझ में आया? फिर माय फ्रेंड यू मस्ट कॉल मी प्लीज, दो जो जिसने भी पूछा ये क्वेश्चन मुझे थोड़ा एक बार बात करो। व्हाट इज इंडेक्स साइकिल? इंडेक्स साइकिल, चलिए, द पाथ ऑफ द जेट स्ट्रीम, वेवी पाथ ऑफ द जेट स्ट्रीम, इसको इंडेक्स साइकिल कहते हैं। वेवी पाथ ऑफ द जेट स्ट्रीम developed due to the interaction between upper air and lower atmosphere, upper air circulation and the lower atmosphere. एक काम करो, जेट स्ट्रीम कल पढ़ाता हूँ, फिर इंडेक्स साइकिल आई लेट यू नो, ठीक है, जेट स्ट्रीम के साथ. डोंट वरी, they will not ask you in GS this question, but still ये दिल मांगे मोर है ना, कराएंगे, डोंट वरी, we will do that. I will see tomorrow. अभी एक चीज देखो यहाँ पे, location I said 5 to 30 degree latitude, 30 to 60 degree latitude. Here it is tropical, this is temperate region, so it is in the tropical area, tropical zone, and this is in the temperate zone. Temperate zone, tropical and temperate two types, tropical zone and temperate zone. Okay, now सीजन हो गया. थर्ड पॉइंट पे आते हैं, तीसरा पॉइंट पे देखते हैं क्या है, व्हाट इज देयर. थर्ड पॉइंट इज favorable condition. Favorable condition. What are the favorable condition? Temperature more than 27 degrees Celsius and tropical water bodies. यहाँ पे क्या है, convergence of two contrasting air masses, cold and warm, cold and warm. Is it clear to you this much? Fourth point. Energy. From where did it get energy? Tropical cyclone energized by the latent heat of condensation, but here energized by the thermal gradient between air masses. How much thermal gradient is there between two air masses? That is more important here. Thermal gradient between the air mass is the more important point here. Okay, thermal gradient between the air masses is the major point here. Thermal gradient between the air masses. Energy energized by the latent heat of condensation I said, and this is energized by the thermal gradient between air masses I said. These are the very important two important points here. I hope you got some idea on this. After this, let us talk about the structure. What is the structure of this? Tropical cyclone has a well developed eye, and here it is well developed front. You have a front in this case. In case of the temperate cyclone, you have a front, but in case of the tropical cyclone, you have a eye. Tropical cyclone, ibella rainfall pattern. Very heavy rainfall for a short time period. Mostly at the eye wall. Here moderate to low intensity rainfall for a very long time period, 5 to 7 days even. Here 2 to 3 hours maybe. बारिश ज़्यादा होगा 2-3 घंटे तक होगा, और इवन अप टू 2 to 12 आवर्स कर दो, 2 to 12 आवर्स, 12 घंटे तक हो सकता है, 2 to 12 आवर्स. Tropical cyclone, in this case, you know, if you'll see, the rainfall is different here. Another one, 7th point I'll go for here. Rainfall pattern, cloud condition. If you'll go for cloud condition, I have already said, in case of tropical cyclone, the clouds will be, you know that tropical cyclone में क्या cloud है? Cumulonimbus. Here you have nimbostratus, cumulonimbus. Other clouds are also there, but dominantly rain bearing cloud is this. Now I will go for the life time. I said lifespan. If I will go for the lifespan, this is tropical cyclone are generally for how many days? Tropical cyclone, they generally are active for tropical cyclone active for 2 to 3 days. 2 to 3 days, and here it is 5 to 12 days. ये जरूर होगा, 5 से 12-13 दिन तक हो जाता है, 2 weeks together, you know that. 9th point, tropical cyclone. If you look at the isobar here, isobar को देखते हैं, isobar. In case of tropical cyclone, the isobar are circular, almost circular isobar. but here it is mostly elliptical isobar. $700, $750, $800 millibar. Here if it is there, 800, 810, 820 millibar. See, this is here is the low pressure conditions. Here is high pressure gradient. This is circular shaped with high gradient, but here it is elliptical shape with less pressure gradient. Elliptical shape with less pressure gradient, elliptical shape with the less pressure gradient here. दोनों में डिफरेंस सही है. Okay, you got it, this point. Now 10th point we will see. 10th point, aerial coverage. Aerial coverage. If you will see tropical cyclones, it covers small area. Diameter of these from 150 to 700 kilometer. Diameter of cyclone is 150 to 700 kilometer. But here diameter of a cyclone which is even 800 to 1600 kilometer is 800 to 1600 kilometer. Much large area it covers, very huge area it covers. Temperate cyclone covers very huge area. Okay, 11 point now. 11th point. Now after this, as I just said about this, like direction of movement, if you see, direction of movement, here tropical cyclone travels from east to the west. Here it travels from the west to the east, travel from west to east. I told you it is influenced by what? This one is influenced by tropical cyclone by easterly and temperate cyclone by the westerlies. That's why it will be like this. Direction of movement, if you will see, they are different here. What else? There is like, if you look at wind velocity, strength of the cyclone, if you look at velocity of wind is very high, 60 to 220 kilometer per hour. Here it is moderate to low velocity wind, that is 40 to 60 kilometer per hour. 40 to 60 kilometer per hour. 40 to 60 kilometer per hour. Okay. High velocity it is. One of your friend is saying, sir, please start continental map study again, just like you did it North, South America, Australia. Yes, we'll do that. Those study helped a lot to understand global distribution of volcanoes and earthquake, and I guess it will also help to understand the distribution of other climate activity. Definitely, you will get a new schedule tomorrow onwards. You know what we will do after completion of anticyclone. I will go for oceanography part. I will go for not ocean. I will go for this what is that major climatic and natural regions. I think it is not done. Equatorial climate, hot desert climate, savanna climate. ये तो नहीं हुआ है ना? Do you remember that? So we will do that at that time. Mapping फिर करेंगे. Sir, is there any impact of Coriolis force on temperate cyclone like tropical cyclone? Yes, always. Any cyclone, सभी cyclone में, इसीलिए cyclones, कोई भी cyclone हो, Coriolis force effect is there, and that's why temperate cyclone very quickly develop. You know, Coriolis force has a very great impact on this, no doubt. Very great impact here. Okay. Direction. अच्छा, एक जो डेवलपमेंट, हाँ 13 पॉइंट पे चलते हैं. अनदर वन, लेट मी डिफरेंशिएट अगेन. पॉइंट नंबर 13, 1-3, we have developable surface. डेवलपमेंट सरफेस क्या होना चाहिए? ट्रॉपिकल ओशियन or water bodies. Only tropical ocean or the water bodies is the most suitable one. But in case temperate cyclone, anywhere, that is both ocean and or both sea and the continent land surface, both sea and land surface are equally suitable for the development of a cyclone. Temperate cyclone primarily depends on the thermal contrast between two air masses. So ये तो है आपकी 13 point I have given. In your material you have given lot of things. You do study, try to find out and do write question answer, and please send it for evaluation. Okay. आप इवैल्यूएशन के लिए भेजिए. फिर मैं क्वेश्चन दे रहा हूं नाउ. अच्छा, एक चीज और एक डिफरेंशिएट कर देते हैं ना. वन मोर पॉइंट लेट अस सी फाइनली. 14th पॉइंट, नेमिंग ऑफ द साइक्लोन है ना. देयर आर स्पेसिफिक नेम ऑफ tropical cyclone given by World Meteorological Organization and associated countries. No such nomenclature, no such nomenclature or naming of the cyclone, of the temperate cyclone, of the temperate cyclone. डिफरेंट नाम है, ट्रॉपिकल साइक्लोन का डिफरेंट नाम है, फानी हो गया, हुडहुड हो गया, और अभी जो साइक्लोन है नाम है दिया, बट टेम्परेट साइक्लोन हैज नो सच एनी नेम लाइक दिस. ओके, सो प्लीज डू स्टडी. Sir, you have said in old state there is no warm air in ground surface, but in the drawn picture that is drawn, no, that is not of that ground, that is from the warmer sector से आ रहा है. फिर even warm air जो आएगा वो new warm air will come out from where? From the nearby region, क्योंकि cyclone already dissipate कर जाएगा ना, so नया जो warm air आएगा, that is what I have shown it to you. You can remove it if you are confusing on that. Okay, ऐसे कुछ नहीं है. So these are the 14 points here I have given. I hope you got some idea about this particular cyclone differences and all. I am giving a question here. What are tropical cyclone? How they develops? How they develops? Briefly discuss the structure and travel path of the tropical cyclone. I have already given one. This is tropical cyclone. ओके 15 मार्क का दो, 300 वर्ड में दो, 200 15 मार्क है, 250 वर्ड्स. चलो इसको करो, ये भी करो. एक अनदर क्वेश्चन आई हैव गिवन हियर. नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन इज what are the conditions for the development of a temperate cyclone? Why it is called as frontal or wave cyclone? Why it is called as frontal or the wave cyclone? Again 15 marks, 250 words. 15 marks, 250 words. लिखो ये क्वेश्चन को भी. थर्ड क्वेश्चन आई एम गिविंग यू. Third question is, this question, to what extent the temperate cyclone is different from the tropical cyclone. Give a detailed analysis on the weather phenomena associated with the tropical and temperate cyclones. tropical and temperate cyclone. 15 marks, 250 words. आपके लिए इतना बहुत enough है, ये सब आप बनाइए. I request you all to do, and believe me, I'll say one thing here, do practice this. Nobody can stop you from achieving your goal. Do write these answers. You will definitely, you take on record this, you will definitely get questions in UPSC from the regions, from the area which I am covering. पक्का है, आप करके देखिए, and you will get confidence if you will study. I am requesting you all to revise, revise and revise. You will able to do this. Okay. So I wish you best of luck. Thank you very much. Do write this answer and upload it for your evaluation. You will get the feedback. If any problem, contact me. If you face any problem anywhere, do study from the material which you got. Revise the class note first, and whatever I am saying, just do that. Okay. So thank you very much. Any question, please go ahead. कोई क्वेश्चन और है तो बताइए. Any other question, please? Give me the questions if you have. Yes. So tomorrow I'll do the anticyclone and the naming of the cyclone, two things. Then tomorrow I'll start major climatic and natural regions of the world which I haven't discussed. I said equatorial climate, tropical climate जो है ना वो वाला area, that we will discuss tomorrow. Okay. No question, I think. I am not getting any question from anyone. No question. So okay, I wish you best of luck. Thank you very much. See you tomorrow. Tomorrow at 11 we will meet. Our topics of discussion will be: first I will go for naming of the cyclone, second what is anticyclone, and then after this major climatic regions of the world we will discuss equatorial climate, monsoon, savanna, hot deserts, etc. So one by one we will discuss, and the reference for this climatic region will be your book called G.C. Leung, Go Cheng Leung, chapter number 15 to 25, it is there, you can see that. Okay. लास्ट क्वेश्चन का मीनिंग बता दीजिए. आपने बता रहे हैं, कोई एक क्वेश्चन पूछा है, लास्ट क्वेश्चन का मीनिंग है क्या है? टू व्हाट एक्सटेंट द टेम्परेट साइक्लोन इज डिफरेंट फ्रॉम द ट्रॉपिकल साइक्लोन. I mean differentiate between tropical and temperate cyclone. Okay. Give a detailed analysis on the weather phenomena associated with the tropical and temperate cyclone. Weather phenomena I mean rainfall type कैसे होता है, what type of cloud you have. एक diagram बनाया था मैं यहाँ भी, there also I have prepared a diagram. The structure जो बनाया था ना, if you remember, that is clouds of, what are the clouds, how we have these clouds and all, and how rainfall pattern is there, that is what. Sir, please take the subject questions of previous chapters, how to approach them. Okay, आप मुझे क्वेश्चन दो ना यार, क्वेश्चन दो, I will discuss how temperate cyclones spin at upper level. See, ऊपर जाके नीचे ही वो ज्यादा रहेगा. Gradually well lifted off, well it lifted up, because upper part your pressure is less, impact will be more, but gradually dissipate. While it goes up, it dissipate. Spin करके ऊपर जाके ना ऊपर dissipate कर जाएगा. क्योंकि ऊपर जाकर ठंडा हो जाएंगे. You know that lifted up mean temperature will be less in the upper part, so it will cool down, thermal gradient will be decreased. Okay. Please take subject question of the previous chapter. Okay. Do you have to answer the questions based on the class notes? My friends, class note is the base. Must study. इसके ऊपर जो मसाला देना है दे सकते हो. इसके ऊपर ये skeleton होगा, ये जो analysis है, this is the most important thing. First you do this. पहले यही करना है, उसके बाद उसके ऊपर कुछ देना है, इससे अच्छा कुछ कर सकते हो. If you can improve on this, well and good. Class notes is very very important, no doubt. Okay. How temperate cyclones spin at the, I told you this. Okay. How we measure Coriolis force? It may be out of the topic. अच्छा कोई बात नहीं. See that measure Coriolis force are generally impacted. This is a false force, you know. It is on the basis of a deflection rate we usually do. to what extent deflecting the wind or any free falling object, based on that only. We measure this. So, there is an even there is a calculation based on the latitude, earth rotational velocity and the latitude, based on which also we compute the things. Mathematical principle से equation के through भी बनाते हैं हम लोग. Okay, that is a quantification. Quantitatively we can do the things with mathematical principles. Any other things? Anyway, thank you very much for giving these questions and giving me opportunity to interact with you. Best of luck. God bless you. Tomorrow we'll meet again. Please do study and come. Have faith and trust in yourself. Give your best. Believe me, you'll do well. Thank you very much. Bye bye. Bye.